What happens when you combine WD-40 with these scraps of foam that seem fit only for the trash? Most people use WD-40 for lubrication or rust prevention, while foam usually ends up in the garbage. Yet when these two seemingly unrelated items come together, they can create a mixture strong enough to patch large holes in plastic. It sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? Watch to the end of the video to see if this method actually works. Before starting, I cut the foam into many small pieces so it can absorb more easily and soften faster. Now, put all the cut foam into a stainless steel tray. Spray WD-40 evenly over the surface of the foam, then use a stick to stir it slowly. As the liquid soaks in, the foam starts to shrink, soften, and stick together. Do this step in a well-ventilated area, away from flames and sparks, because WD-40 is very flammable. The goal is not to make professional glue, but to see whether foam can turn into a sticky enough mixture to help fill gaps. Next, I add baking soda to the tray. Sprinkle it in slowly, then keep stirring so the powder blends into the softened foam. Once the baking soda is mixed in evenly, the mixture starts to become thicker, less runny, and easier to spread. If the mixture is too thin, it will be hard for it to stay in place on the area that needs repair. But before applying it to the bin, we need to handle the damaged area first. This is the plastic bin with a hole in it. I remove the lid to make it easier to work and to see the repair area clearly. Looking closely, we have one main hole and a long crack beside it. If we simply cover the surface with the mixture right now, the crack could continue spreading when the bin gets hit. I use a knife to cut away the damaged plastic. Any plastic edges that are too thin, broken, or deformed need to be removed. The patch will only be strong when it bonds to a base that is still solid and clean. Now prepare the soldering iron. The next step, we'll use heat to press paper clips into the plastic. I place each paper clip along the crack. Then I use the tip of the soldering iron to heat each paper clip. As the metal heats up, it slowly sinks into the plastic surface. Do not press too hard, because it could make the hole deeper or deform the plastic. The paper clips act like a small internal skeleton. The foam and WD-40 mixture will help fill and cover the surface, but these paper clips are what help keep the two plastic edges from separating. If you have ever patched a plastic bin using another method, comment below. I want to know which method lasts the longest with regular use. Now the crack has been held together, but the large hole still needs a stronger base layer. I cut a piece of stainless steel mesh to fit the size of the hole. Place the mesh in the correct position, then use the soldering iron to gently press the edges of the mesh into the plastic. Work slowly around the entire seam to secure the mesh. The stainless steel mesh will create a support frame for the mixture on top, especially in the area where there is no plastic base underneath. Now, look over the entire welded area. Check each paper clip, each edge of the mesh, and the surrounding plastic. If any area is still loose, it needs to be secured again before applying the mixture. I take the foam WD-40 and baking soda mixture we just made. Use a stick to spread it over the entire repair area. Spread from the center of the hole outward to the edges. I flip it over to the other side and apply another layer. Coating both sides helps make the repair area more sealed and helps the patch hold more firmly. After about 24 hours, the mixture has dried completely. Now, I use P400 sandpaper to smooth the surface. Sand with even movements, and do not stay in one spot too long to avoid making the patched area sink in. First, I sand the outside so the raised areas come down. Then I check it by hand to feel where it is still hard or rough. Continue sanding the inside, especially around the edge of the mesh and the crack. The goal is to make the surface flat enough for the paint to stick more evenly. If there is still dust, a raised edge, or extra material, the final paint layer will make the flaws stand out more. Next, I use a cloth to wipe away all the sanding dust. Wipe carefully around the edge of the patch inside and outside the bin. Any dust left behind can make it harder for the paint to stick. When the surface feels smoother, flatter, and clean of dust by hand, we can move to the final step. Now, take the bin to be painted for the finish. Spray or paint over the entire repaired area so the patch matches the rest of the bin better. After the paint dries, reinstall the plastic lid. I use a hammer to tap directly on the patched area. The patch still holds very firmly with no cracking, no peeling, and fairly good impact resistance in this test. If your plastic bin is cracked or has a hole, you can try applying this method before replacing it. If you found this video useful, leave a like and follow for more practical repair tips.